On the phone, we have Paul LaRocco from Newsday, who wrote a story about the Nassau GOP and State Senator Jack Martin's. And we're going to talk to Paul if he's there. Hello, Paul.
I'm here. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Good. Well, we see the story. Why don't we let you tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, last night the County Republican Committee had their annual nominating convention where they formally backed Jack Martins, the former state senator, to run for county executive this year. Obviously, there's a little more significance because there is currently a Republican that is the county executive, but as you and your listeners may know, Ed Mangano, he's under federal indictment to which he's pleaded not guilty, but the party's not backing him, for that reason.
Yeah. And okay, I guess we can assume that's the reason.
Yeah. The chairman Mondello has told us recently, I believe last month, that he's not passing judgment on the allegations against the county executive, but acknowledged that he's running essentially the party. He's running it like a business, and his business is to win. And he acknowledged that the perception and the cloud hanging over made it impossible for the committee to back the county executive.
Right. It seems, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It seems kind of strange to me. They're all just business as usual.
I'm not sure. They are commenting. There have been comments by officials in the party that they need to restore trust to government and that there need to be changes. I think the one thing you're seeing is that they're going in a different direction, at least in the county executive race, and the presiding officer of the legislature is not running again. She's announced that she's retiring after almost 20 years in the legislature, and they're going to put up a state assemblyman to run for her seat. So the party is bringing in some new people for this year's election, or at least maybe they're not new to Nassau politics, but they're new to the offices they're running for.
Right. I don't know. In the world of politics, I don't know what to think anymore. I really don't. I think they got bigger problems than who they put up for county executive or some of those. I'm just curious to see how the whole thing plays out with the Republican Party in general.
It's certainly an interesting election year because you have the whole element of these criminal cases that are unresolved, at least in terms of the former Oyster Bay Town Supervisor, John Venditto, and the current Republican County Executive of Nassau, Ed Mangano. Obviously neither of them will be on the ticket unless, of course, Mangano decides to run a primary, which he's given no indication he's going to do. But with them presumably not on the ticket, these people who are running for their seats are still going to have to deal with the cloud. And of course, the Democrats are going to make a very large issue of this, even though those cases don't involve the people they're running against.
Right. Huh. I know you did the Republican side of the House here, and anything else going on with the Democrats as far as I wonder what their take is going to be.
Yeah, they've already kind of indicated it. They have essentially the chairman of the party, Jay Jacobs, has said on numerous occasions that he believes the corruption will be the issue that they're going to run on, meaning the Democrats put us in power. The Republicans are the ones who have been in power on the county level and on the town level in Oyster Bay, and these there have been high profile officials who have been indicted. And now some people would counter that there have been Democratic officials that were indicted, and former county legislator Dave Denenberg, went to federal prison for a crime relating to his law firm, but he had to vacate his seat. Of course, on the state level, you have Sheldon Silver. But anyway, nonetheless, the Democrats are going to make that an issue, and their convention is in 2 weeks, and they're going to back the county legislator Laura Curran to run for county executive, but she'll likely have a primary on her hands because there are two other Democrats who want that seat. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's why, I kind of bristle when they say, well, the first thing we have to do is make people trust government again. And I'm thinking, like, that's ever going to happen.
it's not my place to say, but
right,
it's certainly,
right. I get that, yeah.
so certainly there have been cases, high-profile cases of crimes committed by elected officials in both parties, in both counties, and on the state level. So there's certainly a reason for people to be distrustful.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I think it's kind of it's semi-hilarious, but it's sad that in the same breath, to hear people argue about Democrats, Republicans this, Democrats that, Republicans this, and I think, come on, each side of this fence has its share of whatever you want to call them, people that shouldn't be in politics because they're challenged when it comes to honesty, and the word fiduciary doesn't mean anything to them. And you just see it blatant. And then one side says, well, we have to get them to trust us again. And I think, I guess so. But that's a long, long road.
Yeah, I mean, both candidates, both county executive candidates, or all the county executive candidates are running, to varying degrees on platforms that plan to address the corruption issue, whether it's through changes to the contracting process or how jobs are handled, or other strengthening the board of ethics. So they all realize that this is an issue, and then they're trying to get traction with voters on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess I wish everybody who's in the game, wish them all luck. but I primarily I wish the people in the county and on the island luck. That's where I would draw the line. I put the people on one side, and I can put all the politicians on the other side, and I don't care which party they're from.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing with local elections is they typically, have low turnout. So people always say that, if you want to, affect change on your level of government, you have to get out and vote. But these types of elections, usually 30% of registered voters, if they come out, that's a good, good turnout. So.
Yeah. Well, we got to tell our audience that. You hear that, folks? That 30% are deciding, who we get to contend with for a certain period of time. That's not good. So we'll do what we can here at this week's Long Island News. We try to bring up these stories and let people know what's going on and maybe get them interested. Hopefully. What do you think, Zach? You think they'll?
Well, hopefully we can get them interested about what's going to happen.
Well,
because this is going to be an interesting few months.
Oh, yeah. Definitely is. Well, Paul, I thank you very much for giving us a call. I want to thank Newsday, too, for, consistently. We've spoken to a couple of reporters over there, some of your colleagues, and we're having a good time.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. And thank you very much. And keep us apprised of what's going on.
We will do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care, Paul.
You too. Thanks.
Bye-bye.